We are live at the Studio Kitchen, Colorado for the Modern Eater Show. We've got a great show tonight. This is kind of our pre-show show, so that you know, and you know, because we used to call, the radio show starts at 6 after. We're giving you guys a little behind the curtain look at what's coming up. And let me tell you, we've got a great lineup tonight. And this is a very unsavory group, I got to tell you right off the bat. And who should we start with first? Debbie Ortega, correct?
You got it.
Yes, and Debbie, tell us, like they don't know, what do you do?
I am an at-large member on the Denver City Council.
She is awesome, a legend, and I'm going to find out later, a pretty wicked salsa maker. Is that correct?
That is correct.
She brought some, and she asked me to share, but I might be selfish because I kind of know a guy with chips, so I may keep it for myself. I don't know. We'll find out. Welcome to the show. We're gonna have some great conversations, and Debbie's up deck. She's on first, so she's the opener tonight.
Thank you.
Get ready. Second, Zac Kreider from Colorado Mills.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about animals tonight, probably more than oil. So, goats. We got a fun little project, a little sneak peek tonight. Well,
Chito's been referred to as an animal, too, so that could be something there. Always a great guest, great products. And then I'm going to call Chito the man of the hour.
Yeah, right.
This is the guy. So what are you doing these days, Chito?
I'm working.
Yeah. Where are you working at now? He's got kind of a big restaurant, maybe the biggest one in Denver.
In Denver, yes. Biggest kitchen in Denver.
Yeah, where is that at?
The executive sous chef at Pepsi Center.
Yeah, that's kind of a big gig.
Nuggets and the Avalanche and everything else.
And I'm hearing, as I'm talking to people out there, they're like, yeah, the food has changed. It's gotten better.
We've heard about that stuff too, so hopefully it's true.
Oh, I know it is. With your experience really all over the world, yep. How could it not be?
And we're trying to bring everything, a little piece from all my travels.
I know. And you know what else? Chito's been instrumental in landing local brands into the Pepsi Center.
Exactly, yes. That's one thing we're trying to strive here in Colorado. And thanks to Greg and Brian and all of you guys here at the Modern Eater, I got that from you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun behind the grill with Chito too. Yeah. Then we've got Rebecca.
Hi, Rich.
From Fourth.
Hot Schedules powered by Fourth.
That's correct. Our newest sponsor. She'll probably be on the table yakking, telling us all about what they do.
Yeah, so we do compliance with HR, payroll, PEO services to make sure that restaurants and hospitality are taken care of. We've got you covered with taxes.
Oh, this is going to be a great segment. It'll be a great segment. We'll be seeing you real soon. And then I've got Cindy, who was invisible to me up until about 45 minutes ago. I was trying to find her on the interwebs, and I couldn't find her anywhere.
Hard to find.
So, yeah, I guess being a private investigator is not in my future. I better stay to that tortilla gig.
Here we are.
And so you're from where?
Deviation Distilling.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. And this is?
Dave.
I'm David.
Dave. Now, see, I did find Dave on the internet. Dave, you are there.
I'm easier to find.
This is going to be a fun segment.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it, and thanks for having us.
That's awesome. Now we've got a couple guys. I don't know if they're going to be on the table, so I don't want to get their hopes up. That's right. Now we'll get them over here in the corner. Well, hey, that's what we're leading up to on tonight's show. We've got a great show, very timely. We're going to bring the best and brightest that we've got here to you. So if you're wanting to learn more about, we've got subjects from minimum wage to the census to how to do local to goat feeding, how to take care of your business, your all kinds of financial things. And then if that isn't enough, if you're not good with your finances and you need to have a cocktail, to try to blunt the things, you can run over here and do that. So we're going to be winding it up here pretty soon. Jay, where are we at on time?
You got about 2 minutes.
Oh, I got 2 minutes to tap dance. Okay, well then let's talk about this. I'm going to set the card down. I want to touch base again about what we do here, why we do this. We felt that the stories of our industry, the hospitality, the lodging industry, had to be told, and where we're focusing really is kind of from the hot window, where the chef puts the plate up, from the hot window to the farm. And so that's what we're trying to do, is bring those stories, those compelling stories, and that way people can come here, you can hear it from them in their words. We don't add or splice or anything. You're seeing this live, and sometimes, believe me, it's ugly. but we're gonna make it work. So that's what we're doing. We're also heading into, obviously, the end of the year, another turn of the calendar, so to speak. We've got a lot of people wondering, what does that mean? Maybe I want a different position. I want a little change of lanes or something like that. Those are some of the other things that we're going to be talking about this show and through the end of the year. So, buckle in, settle down, enjoy this. You've got about 2 hours coming up on deck. It's a compelling 2 hours. The other thing that you'll see is if you keep watching cumulatively, little by little, you may just be the smartest guy in your restaurant, in your kitchen, maybe in the industry. That's what we're trying to do, is be educational and let people tell their story. So buckle up. We're going to be coming at you live here in about how many more seconds we got?
Just about 10 seconds.
10 seconds? I'm going to have here. I want to take 10 seconds. Hold on. I'm going to have you come. This is probably the most important guy in the room right here, Jay. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be hearing or seeing any of this. We'll be back.
Bad, immoral, and wrong.
This is the Modern Eater Show.
Piping hot and delicious.
The Modern Eater.
Food, 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 food.
When you get a chance
Hosts,
turned up on
Greg
this.
Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, and Brian Freeman.
Okay, you better believe it. Here it is. Brand new edition
Saturday
of the
night in the Rocky Mountains.
Modern Eater Show, live and ready to go. iHeartRadio is our local affiliate. Thank you for tuning in. We're from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and the Modern Eater Show continues. This is a great night in the Mile High City. We've got a great lineup for you tonight. Obviously, Brian Freeman here with myself, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Kenyon George, Dave Avery off tonight, Little Rich Snyder. How do you follow Little Rich?
Yeah, how do you follow the man?
You don't, but Full Value, the show is streaming. You can check it out if you so wish, but a lot of action going on. Go to themoderneater.com and you can watch all the action. In the meantime, in between time, there's chefs going to be on the show tonight, distillers, brewers, a lot of small businesses. That's what we love, Brian. Last Saturday, what was it? Small Business
Saturday.
It should be every Saturday.
Well, it should be every day, quite honestly. You should be supporting your local small business every single day.
I agree.
Just like I support local small farms.
It means so much. Denver, Colorado, I'm a native boy, 47 years. I grew up in Cherry Creek. It wasn't Cherry Creek when I grew up.
And you're older than that.
No, I'm not. 47. That's it. Let's start the show right now. Without further ado, she's a councilwoman at large. Her name's Debbie Ortega. We know her so well. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you
Glad to be
again.
here.
Happy holidays.
Same to you.
Man, there's so much to catch up on. Denver is really between. Are we plowing the city streets well? Or minimum wage? So many things are going on. Census is one of those things, Debbie. Can we, before we jump into census, minimum wage, the things that affect the city, let's talk about you for a minute. There's so many folks, and just like the Modern Eater Show, welcome. If this is your first time, thank you so much. We get so many folks that are new to the city. Tell them about yourself.
So I'm not a native, but I've been here since I was 13, born and raised in New Mexico. Went to Denver Public Schools. I have a daughter and grandkids who also went through Denver Public Schools. I've got 3 grandkids right now serving in the military.
Yeah.
2 are in the Navy and 1 is in the Air Force.
Nice. DPS, which school did you go to?
West.
But
I represented the district that had both West and North. So
I was Manual
cheered for
High
both.
School. Manual High School
Okay.
here, East Manual. This is the beginning of when they started busing kids
Oh, right.
around.
Yeah.
I was 6th in Jackson. That's
Okay.
where we went.
Way different world,
Manual
isn't
High
it
School.
wild?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could live right next to South High School and get bused over to East.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was a different time.
And they're doing some of that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with creating so many charter schools. Your neighborhood schools are no longer your neighborhood school in some neighborhoods.
And what's the real reason behind that?
Diversity, right?
I mean, is that what it is anymore, though, really? Is it diversity? I mean, I think we're pretty diverse as a culture already.
I think it's privatizing our public schools. That's what I think it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, a
And-
conversation I didn't expect, but good perspective.
And a lot of it is, put money into corporations that are running those, basically.
Too much.
Interesting.
Debbie, census. So it seems like an easy thing, right? I'd like for people just to, they go, okay, census, what is that? What does it mean to us, Debbie?
So I want to tie it back to
Please.
the hospitality industry.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
So the census is a head count that's done every 10 years, and the data from that census is what is used to then determine how much money comes back to our communities in federal dollars. So it's money for education, daycare, healthcare, transportation.
And we're talking billions of dollars.
Yes.
Like 13 a
billion
year.
that comes back to Colorado.
And we want more.
So that
Right?
count, and when
Yep.
you look at the fact that we have grown so much with so many new people coming here, we want to make sure that everybody counts.
So how do you do that?
Including our hard-to-count communities.
Yeah.
That's our immigrant and refugee community.
I like to hear you say that.
Well, there's a big thing about that because there's a lot of, this, Greg, is something that touches me quite a bit because I'm in the ag community. And in the ag community, you've got a lot of immigrant workers.
Yep.
And a lot of immigrant workers are afraid.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is we need them to be counted, not because they should be afraid, but because we need more federal support to help them. And if we know that they're there,
So here's what's really key to this count is that all the information that's collected is confidential.
Yes.
And all of the census workers who are involved in this process take an oath for life that they will never divulge any of that information. The aggregate data is all that gets shared with the agencies. Even the president can't go to one address and say, I want to know who's in that household. It's protected by the U.S. Constitution.
I love you for that. Thank you for saying that. It's important because
Yeah.
people are afraid. And
That's
and
part of the
we're living in a
education.
fearful culture these days, and we should take that away because the reality is you count everywhere.
And we want families to know that these are the dollars that come to us that help pay for education and pay for the roads that everybody drives on
Sure.
and the various services that are available to our entire community.
As-
The other piece that, if I could just add, is that if we get a complete count, Colorado is primed to have an additional congressional seat. And the data that gets collected is used to do the whole re-precincting and redistricting of congressional, state, local government boundaries for the next election cycles.
So as you can see, that's a big deal politically. Turn that down just a little bit because I'm hearing it in the headset. As people are joining us right now on Facebook and YouTube Live, also on our iHeart affiliate here, Local 630 KHOW, talking to Councilperson Debbie Ortega here on the Modern Eater Show. And we're talking census. Okay, well, what does that have to do with food and beverage? Well, a lot. A lot of the folks that we're trying to get counted are within this industry. I like real talk, and I like talking about things that, the opposition would probably ask you. Okay, why would it be important for folks that aren't citizens to be counted?
It's important because their voice matters. They count. And we want them to know that they are an important part of who gets counted in the United States. If we have students going to school here from other countries that are in our education system, they count when they're here. If we have, children that are going to school in other communities, they get counted where they're at on count day. But it's important for everybody in this industry because so many of our sectors rely on these federal dollars that help offset the cost. You talked about the agriculture industry. My brother and sister-in-law are cattle farmers. They grow red Angus beef. Relying on your workforce is an important part, but the resources that we get to offset some of the costs for the different programs that we have are vital. And we want to get our fair share. So by counting everybody, it means that we're getting our fair share for education, for all the other categories that those federal dollars come in.
Next segment, we will talk about some minimum wage that was passed here through the city council, and we'll go into legislation and tier up in the next couple of years. But right now, talking census, and when we circle back to census, basically what I heard you say is if somebody's using resources, we want to know who they are.
Good.
I mean, is that correct?
It translates to making sure we have enough dollars to provide the resources to cover all the different
and if you're,
services that people benefit from.
Well, that's what no one understands. There's more cars on the road. There's more people that need to get on the bus.
What are those services, Debbie?
Wow, there's a whole category of them, but it's, again, education, daycare, healthcare, transportation. I'm blanking out on what they all are, but we get federal dollars that provide these services.
Real money.
That come through human services, that come through our, transportation department, our education department. So it's all those various resources that both documented and undocumented. Kids in our school system, we don't look at whether they're documented or not. They count, and we provide those services. So we want to make sure that we're getting the share that is equal to the number of people who are here. And if we don't get it right, we've got to wait 10 more years before we get to get it right next time around.
And there's a lot at stake, especially congressional seat, which, that's big business right there. I think Florida's up for two more, and some other states that are growing exponentially like Colorado. So we're classifying some folks as hard to count.
Yes.
Right? To qualify as hard for count, it's basically pretty easy, but there's a demographic of folks that fit in to hard to count. I think, 25% or 176,000 people here in Denver are labeled hard to count. That's a big number of folks.
Yeah, and it's not just our immigrant and refugee communities. It's our
American
senior
Indians.
folks. It's children under 5. It's our people serving that are incarcerated. So we have a number of different categories listed under group quarters. So part of that is, kids in our college system. There's a number of those categories. And I am co-chair of Denver's Complete Count Committee for the 2020 census. We have 13 committees that represent all of our hard-to-count communities. And they have been working in the trenches. The materials that I brought, we've been distributing them at various kinds of events going on. We will have a day where pastors will be talking about this from the pulpit. We're at various community events with the materials. And this is just one additional way to get the word out, because we have so many folks that work in the hospitality industry that whether they clean rooms or they're your chefs, your wait staff, and they're not all, undocumented, but we want to make sure that we're reaching every sector. The Hispanic Chamber receives some money from the state, and they'll be working with the business community, with all of the other chambers, including the Downtown Denver Partnership.
I thought, what in the world are we going to talk to Councilwoman Debbie Ortega about for 15 minutes about census? But we could go on with that. I want to take a break off and go with that. But basically, it's if you snooze, you lose.
Yes.
And we don't want to lose.
Correct.
As Denver. We're
Absolutely
trying not to snooze.
Right.
We want to have everybody counted. There are hard to count folks. You're taking measures of sectors of folks that are going to reach those different populations of people. And it really is important because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that every Coloradan is taken care of in the best possible way. And this is what I call earning your dollars. And
yes.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for doing that. You're going to stick around for that. There's a gal over here. Her name's Rebecca Berry. She's with Hot Schedule. She works very closely on folks that are in the restaurant industry and making sure that they're organized when it comes to scheduling and those types of things. The minimum wage increase, seemingly not a big deal. Everybody gets more money, right? Or at least the folks that need it.
It's a hot topic.
But there are tipped employees where this is kind of going wonky a little bit, turning it on its ear, if I could say. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back. If you don't mind, I'd love for Rebecca just to join the conversation.
Great.
We'll do that. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Studio Kitchen, Colorado. This is a great night in the Mile High City. We're talking about all the things that are important. We're blessed to have Councilwoman Debbie Ortega here with us. We'll break off right now, send it to Little Rich in the Little Rich Corner, and we'll be back in a flash on iHeartRadio.
Not love Debbie. Even I'm going to tell you, Debbie, even if you're with you or against you on a certain topic, how do you not love that woman? Just how? I defy you.
You don't really have an option, Rich.
Well, no, she's such a sweetheart. Hey, we've got one of our newest sponsors Rebecca with 4th Hot Schedules here. And, you know, we're coming into that end of the year where it's like, okay, I've got to improve certain things on my business. This is one of them, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. And something I want to touch on while we're talking about end of year real quick is a lot of businesses have growth, and now we're starting to look at ACA compliances. Now is the time, because once January hits, that starts that cycle all over again, and we're here for you. We've got you covered. It's not just about your SUTA rates or workman's comp. It's ensuring that end-to-end your business is taken care of.
She's got it all covered. So, Rebecca, I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I need to do this.
Well, contact me, Rich. Call me.
How?
You can email me at rebecca.berry, like the fruit, at forth.com, or you can call me directly, but probably email me is best.
Okay. Well, that's an email worth making. It'll protect you. We'll be right back.
But in red at Ace at participating stores.
Modern Eater family, it's Little Rich. Everybody needs insurance, but do you have the insurance you need? When we opened Studio Kitchen, Colorado, home of the Modern Eater, we had no idea what insurance we needed. We didn't even know where to begin. Times like that, I turn to the experts. Our insurance expert, Brian Brenning with the Ewing Levitt Agency. Brian makes the coverage discovery process easy and seamless. Here's what you can expect from Brian and the team at Ewing Levitt. The absolute safest coverage, fair, low rates, quick response time, and honest, straightforward service. I've been in business 40 years. I trust Brian Brenning and Ewing Levitt Agency. He's not just an insurance expert. He's my friend. Make him your friend and expert, too, by calling the Ewing Levitt Agency today, 970-679-7374. For the best and most reliable insurance coverage, that's 970-679-7374. It's the Ewing Levitt Agency.
Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers, Denver's badass Belgian-style brewery. Brews has some serious badassery coming up in the next month. Our new tap room at Colfax in York will be opening up, and it is a very special place. With the coming of winter, we're featuring some real powerhouse beers. The infamous Hellraiser is back on tap, along with a killer lineup of strong blonde, amber, and dark ales. Our unique Christmas beer, Brut Le Grand, will also be releasing soon, as well as our seasonal Beat Saison. And we'll have a number of limited edition barrel-aged beers that you will not want to miss. Check out all our beers on our website, along with daily food trucks and more at brewsbeers.com. That's Brews, spelled B-R-U-Z, 1675 West 67th Avenue in Denver, where your dog is always welcome. Join us soon for some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey, Colorado. This is Brian Freeman, owner of Growers Organic and a host on the Modern Eater Talk Show. Growers Organic is a Colorado sourcing company who provides Colorado's greatest chefs with the best organic produce. I've been partnering with local and regional farms for the last 20 years, and our returning customers know they can count on us over and over again. Chefs who receive the highest rating on Good Food 100 choose Growers Organic for their organic produce needs because we're experts at bridging the gap between the farm and the table. Join us in the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Wear black and eat spices. Hey, Modern Eater listeners, this is Zach from The Spice Guy, Colorado's favorite spice company. Spice is life. At The Spice Guy, we have a passion for sourcing the best ingredients from the best farmers all over the world. Choose from thousands of different GMO-free spices and ingredients, or let us create and blend custom flavor profiles for whatever style of food it is that you're working with. With over 1,000 restaurants, food brands, and chefs behind us, you can't go wrong when you choose The Spice Guy for all your spice needs. The Spice Guy.
Spicy.
Born in Breck, raised in Denver.
TheSpiceGuyCo.com.
Hey, this is Brother Luck from Colorado Springs.
We're coming back.
Owner of 4 by Brother Luck and Lucky Dumplings. I mean, he's a very, very impressive man. And you're rocking with the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Hey, welcome back to the Modern Eater Show. I think I'm talking to a camera that's turned the other direction.
You're fine. We got all 4 guests, so everybody looks great.
That's right. Well, what a spirited conversation. I always appreciate these things. Myself, Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman, along my side right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. We have the opportunity to catch up with Councilwoman Debbie Ortega. As a council person now, I have such a hard time. What do you like to be called, council person or woman?
Just call me Debbie.
Just call you Debbie. That's the great thing about you. Just call her Debbie. Rebecca Berry's going to join us with Hot Schedules by 4th, right?
Yeah, we
a mix of the words is fine as long as they flow together somehow, right?
So just so you know, Debbie, we've had a conversation before about minimum wage. We've kind of been following this. We're going to switch gears into minimum wage. So thank you for allowing Rebecca Berry to join us.
It's a pleasure to sit next to you.
It's always a great thing to get perspectives, whether they're different or not, because a lot of times we all want the same goal. It's just a matter of how we're driving to that goal. So here it is. It's been passed through City Council. Debbie, do you know the details of this? I know it's a ramp-up period from 2020 to 2022 of what that will look like as far as minimum wage employees and what they will earn. What do they earn now, and what is that projected?
So it doesn't go into effect until January, and that was intentional to give folks time to, just sort of ramp up for that. I don't have the numbers in my head. You may be more familiar with them than I am. But there was a lengthy process that Councilwoman Kinich was engaged in that solicited input from folks that would be affected by this change. And there were many changes made to the original draft based on that input. And part of that included the tipped employees. Part of that included when that would ramp up, how that would ramp up, because initially it was going to be just the first 2 years, and now it was extended to 3 years so that it wasn't such a big hit in those first 2 years.
Well, and aren't we just coming off the tail end of the last one, right, that's going to raise it? Because in January we're going to get to $12. And one of the things that this is a really hard subject for me.
From where? 12 to where?
We're going from 11.10 to 12 in January,
and then ultimately in 2022.
And then it'll by the end of this it'll go to 15.
Okay, let's bring it very specifically to restaurant industry, because here's the rub. Folks are saying, okay, minimum wage increase is great, but we're working in a business with very small margins, restaurant.
But wait, tie in all of food, because it's just not the restaurants; it's the whole food chain from start to finish.
So hold on a second. So here's the rub. Tipped employees. So should tipped employees make more money when they're making tips? So there's a cushion of $3.02 from the high minimum wage to where a tipped employee would be. Goes up a little bit for the tipped employees. Right. But if you look at it, say your burger is $18 and now it's going to be $25, your total bill is going to be bigger, so you're going to get more tip. You're going to get more tip money. Yeah. So the front of the house is making more money in tips, making more money as a minimum wage, and the back of the house employees are still like, where are we going to be at? So there's a disconnect, and there always has been. If we could have a productive conversations, here's what I would want it to be. How do we start compensating the back of the house employees so that it actually catches up with the front of the house and they're not feeling so neglected? Is there a way? Rebecca Berry?
It's a real challenge, and I have to say that we're struggling with keeping good talent as it is in the back of the house, and there's constant turnover. I was actually on the show a few weeks ago, and one of our guests who was on said, help me solve this issue of how to keep a dishwasher. And we have to compensate better, and whether it's that they're going due to things with the green rush that came in, or they're going to a higher paying restaurant down the road. I mean, we're having huge expansion. The Denver market is growing like crazy. So what's the value of keeping that employee? And I think we're still struggling to find that fine balance between having that level of tipped employees and then bringing up that minimum wage to where you keep that talent. So it's a tough subject.
Rebecca,
really is.
But let me jump in there, because, Greg, I don't know that I wholly agree with the statement that you made. And this is going to sound strange, that the back of the house should be commiserate with the front of the house, because that's like saying that someone that works in the warehouse should be at the same level as one of the salespeople. The salespeople have an opportunity to create their destiny.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, but I know, and that's
here's what's critical here, because if you're not paying people a wage that affords them to live in our city, you ask where do they go? Yeah. They're moving to the suburbs, and guess what? They're working out there. They're not coming into Denver and having to pay the extra cost to transport, dealing with their kids, shuffling them around, when they can live and work in the community that they just had to move to because they couldn't afford to stay in Denver.
Well, and Debbie, though, I would say those are almost different, because here's where I go with this, and this is why this is really hard for me. I pay and always have. When minimum wage was $8, all my workers, minimum wage at Growers Organic was $12. Mm-hmm. Right now, minimum wage at Growers Organic is between $15 and $16 already. Everyone gets insurance at growers. I've already done these things, but I don't necessarily need anyone telling me to do it differently because I'm already doing
what the market would dictate.
Yes,
I hear you. And a lot of people that we talk to were already doing that.
Yes.
This is to help workers in those environments where none of that has caught up. And we've got families struggling. I mean, in many of our neighborhoods, we've got families with 2 and 3 generations having to live in the same house and pool their resources just to afford to stay in their homes.
Sounds like my house.
So
yeah, well, how do we educate people to find? Because one of the things I find so crazy is when I do go out there and I see people that are still making $12 an hour. And I'm like, wait a second, don't you know in Denver? I mean, better for worse, that green industry that you were talking about, they raised the bar to $18 an hour and I'll pay you every Friday cash. Mm-hmm. So that's to do something that's, in my eyes, not as hard work as someone driving a truck, someone throwing boxes in a warehouse, someone picking lettuce in a field.
So let me just tell you about one of the other industries that I worked on to make sure that we created opportunities for people in neighborhoods along the I-70 corridor, for example. With that construction project that is underway right now, we made sure that there were commitments to apprenticeship trainings and hirings for people that are along that corridor. And it's not just isolated to Denver. That same commitment is being tied into all of our big bond projects, to the airport projects. So we're getting people trained in livable wage jobs by plugging into these apprenticeship opportunities. They get to pick which trade they're interested in being trained in. So there are multiple opportunities that are being created that help families that are struggling in Denver. Not everybody wants to go into the same, professions, and so you got to give them options, right?
Yep.
So that's what we're trying to do.
That's awesome.
At the end of the day here, the Modern Eater Show, here we are. We try to be the champions for Denver culinary and the folks that work within it. And we want everybody to be happy and healthy. And I know we're up against a break, but I do want to do a quick round robin before we break off and say goodbye to you, Councilwoman Debbie Ortega. The round robin is, at the end of the day, restaurant owners are struggling with very small margins, truly just trying to survive. Any increase in any category, whether it be food or labor, is truly something they have to examine within their business and find more money. That could be passed on to the end consumer, to where you're paying more for your meal. Fine, I'll do that, because I know a lot of folks won't do that, and subsequently folks will be put out of a business. Long story short, I have seen for so long the disconnect for the back of the house being now put into a part-time or transient job. They're not there for a career anymore. It's very sad. There are a lot of folks that have used that as a career and a very noble career for a long time. How do we get back to that? How do we make a living wage? How do we make that disconnect from the front of the house to the back of the house, just as far as making wages go? Jay, you said something to me. Take $2.
So here's the 28 years in the restaurant business, including last night. The thing to me is tipped employees, and I'm a bartender, right? And I was telling Greg in the car, we make, at an average place, you make $20 to $30 an hour, right? That's at $8 an hour minimum wage tipped right now. I would have no problem, and bartenders wouldn't even know, most of us, right?
Yeah.
If you take that, whatever you're trying to raise our wage to, you take that and you raise regular minimum wage, untipped employees. That way we could keep a door guy who would stay there for $14 an hour versus not stay there for $12 an hour, right? We're going to be all right. We're already making $30 an hour, and some places it's way more than that, right? They'll survive. Tipped employees will survive if their minimum wage doesn't keep going up. Give it to the guys in the kitchen, because I don't want them having my tip money in the kitchen, because they don't go through what I go through to get that tip money. And so that argument goes on till the end of time.
So, Debbie, I know that there's no place for government to mandate that to folks and to business owners, but how do we encourage business owners to be able to and actually make this functional for them to be able to make this feasible or plausible for folks in the back of the house?
I think it's providing some of those creative solutions to groups like the Colorado Restaurant Association that can share these great ideas with their membership. Now, not everybody's a member, but, it's a small community, right? and everybody talks to each other, and this is a great opportunity to get the word out. But I think I did not hear that suggestion during the public input process. So,
Jay, where were you?
Hey,
He's probably here, Greg.
When you say you didn't hear that, does that mean you like that idea?
I think it has merit.
Hey,
but
guy went to community college.
I dismiss him all the time with that, Debbie. Rebecca, closing.
Yeah, I mean, I love as Jay's saying, I completely agree with that. And you also create a career path, right? I mean, some of the most successful people I know who have been with Red Robin, Raising Cane, started as bussers, as dishwashers 15 years ago. So you create not only, as Jay was saying, that creative idea, you structure a career path. So there's a goal at the end of the tunnel, or, something to climb from, and then you're not paying to train new people every other week. That's so costly. That turnover affects,
it's insane.
your customers, and then you're understaffed, so you can't serve anybody. So it's just a really dangerous place to be in.
We
so
need to
creativity.
I like it, and we need to continue with this conversation. I'm getting personal emails from restaurant owners that are frothing at the mouth, like, I want in on this conversation. We'll continue it, right, Debbie?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll do
Happy
that.
to come back anytime.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Same to you.
There she is,
Thanks
Debbie
again.
Ortega.
Appreciate it.
This is fantastic.
Thanks,
Up next, there he is. Zac Kreider's coming in, and a little bit late on this segment, but that was a great conversation. Brian, we need to continue that. I hope
I would like to. There's so much about that I'd like to
figure out a solution. Okay, we'll take a break, come back. Zac Kreider, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products. We are going to talk about a lamb 3 ways, a GO project of lambs raised 3 different ways on Colorado Mills Sunflower Products. We'll talk about that when we come back right here on the Modern Eater Show.
Check this out. Check this out. Deviation Gin. I've got my new friends, Invisible Cindy and Visible Dave.
How you doing, everyone?
So stay tuned. They're going to be on. We've got a great segment about their gins. Now, what are the gins that you have?
We have a citrus rosé gin, we have a mountain herb gin, and a spice trade gin.
Nice, a great selection. So we won't tell anyone. What's your favorite?
Well, that's kind of like picking a favorite child. Definitely the mountain herb.
Well played, sir. Well played. So, and where are you distilling this?
We are located at Santa Fe and First. We have our distilling production facility there and a cocktail bar that's open Tuesday through Sunday.
Oh, that's really close. Oh, this is going to be a fun segment.
Yeah.
And both of you two, trust me, this is going to be entertaining. Well, hey, we're going to take a break. One of our sponsors coming up is The Goods. I had dinner there last night. The edamame that Mark Whistler made was tremendous. Go get you some of that. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hey, it's Greg Hollenbach. Anymore these days, when I go out to eat, I not only want to eat delicious food and drinks, but I also want to eat where I know my money is going to a local restaurant that I believe in. I believe in The Goods restaurant on Colfax and Mark Whistler. The Goods is a community restaurant and bar with a menu focusing on vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and keto options. Comfort food lovers, try the best burger on planet Earth. I love it. 8 ounces of grass-fed beef and never, ever any hormones, antibiotics, or steroids. The Goods is truly a cultural melting pot, a family restaurant open to all. Their bar program is amazing. Saddle up at their long, luxurious bar, have a nice craft beer or a cocktail. Like their Facebook page and stay up on amazing events and specials going on throughout the week. Located on East Colfax, directly connected to the Tattered Cover Bookstore, across from East High School with free parking and a garage in back. Look them up online, thegoodsrestaurant.com. I'll see you at The Goods.
Want to bake the best? Bake with the best. Little Rich here from Rockalitas Church.
45 seconds till I read.
Apps fold cold and don't break open. Yet they're soft and delicious. What's my secret? Ardent Mills. Organic, ancient, and heirloom grains like quinoa, spelt, and more. Locally headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Ardent Mills provides the industry's broadest range of traditional and organic flours, whole grains, customized blends, and specialty products dedicated to providing the culinary industry with the next grains and unique plant-based ingredients. I love Ardent Mills, and I know you will too. To bake the best, you must use the best. Learn more at ardentmills.com.
Hey, brewery and restaurant owners, listen up. Do you want to save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill? Of course you do. Saving money is making money. Your savings...
10 seconds till I read.
Hey, call Brian Rizzuto now, 720-245-5771. 720-245-5771. It's Encore in...
Come back.
All right, back to the show in just a second, but I want to talk about bread, and I want to talk about Aspen Baking Company here locally in Denver doing amazing things, and they're doing amazing things without preservatives, without artificial coloring, and without chemicals. It's aspenbaking.com. If you're a business owner and you want to cater your employees, we were just talking about employees, minimum wage, all that. Here's a way to save them money, minimum wage or not. You do catering at aspenbaking.com. You get boxed lunches, you get a cookie, you get a delicious sandwich, whether it's hoagie, focaccia, ciabatta, baguettes, croissants, bear claws, lobster rolls, pound cakes, coffee cakes. Aspen Baking has everything you need. Hashtag how's your Aspen? I'll say the website one more time, and then it's back to the show here in the Modern Eater and Mr. Zac Kreider with Colorado Mills Sunflower Products. It's aspenbaking.com.
Hi, Michael Myers from Distillery 291. I'll say whatever you want me to say. That'll get me in trouble. Write it like you stole it, drink it like you own it. You're listening to the Modern Eater on iHeartRadio.
What is it for a goat? How do you make a goat noise?
Nah.
Is that
That's a lamb, man.
I don't know. What's a goat?
Goats, come on, remember, goats are just ornery. I don't know that they make much noise, except you feel them always. Like lambs, you don't feel. Goats, you feel.
Remember when that goat was one of these goats actually that we're going to be eating tonight was chewing on Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jay will get his chance tonight to chew on him a little bit.
One of those goats was chewing on me. Do you know which one?
Number 1902.
Because I'm going to go in that walk-in. I'll punch a dead, cold, half-thawed goat. You know, I'm not above that.
Fully thawed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just making
missing
a pun.
a leg or two.
Go to themoderneater.com. You'll be able to click on Watch Us Live, and there it is. Here we are in Studio Kitchen, Colorado. It's a great night in the Mile High City. Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman, Jay Parker, Little Rich Snyder, and Kenyon George. All is well in the world because Zac Kreider from Colorado Mills Sunflower Products is here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Be on your best behavior because I think Rick is watching.
Doug Eulin.
What? Monday is going to be off the hook. What's going on here in the kitchen on Monday, Zach?
Well, Rick and Doug are going to be here.
Yes.
They're coming up from Southeast Colorado. We have...
Along with Ross Kaminsky, who's heard here every morning on K-How.
And about 35, 40 other people that are going to show up, and probably more. Chef Justin Brunson. It's going to be a party on Monday. So we have 3 goats. They were harvested about 10 days ago. They're in our cooler here at the Modern Eater. And we're going to be doing side-by-side taste tests. So if you remember the lamb project we did back in January.
That was a hit.
It was.
People like seeing that. And what was the hit? What do you figure people want to see when it comes to raising animals and what feed they're eating?
Well, I think it's education because it's always just been grass-fed and corn and, grain, and you're not sure what that is. Well, we as a company, a lot of people know us as an oil company, but 2/3 of what we do is actually livestock feed. So it's not grain, it's not grass, it's not corn, it's sunflowers.
Which people are probably like, what, man? All I know, Zach, is from his sunflower oil.
Well,
right?
There's so much more. Only 10% of what they do is sunflower oil.
But am I wrong? Here's my thought process is we're paying so much special attention to our diets as human beings of what we're putting into our bodies. Now we're taking the focus and we're putting on, well, what are the animals eating?
Yeah, you are what you eat, but take it a step further, what your food eats. I had a lady come up to me the other day. We were at an event, and she said, is there any soy in your products, because their entire family has a soy allergen, and they're taking it that step further, and they're wondering what those animals are eating because it's affecting people.
Oh, Zach, you and John Irving would love this. I had a conversation with someone about chickens because if chickens are eating wheat, do chickens contain gluten? So think about this, guys, because that's a deep conversation because, listen, what you're feeding your animals, and to Zach's point, and I want to go off because I love his feed, and I know so many ranchers that are using Colorado Mills feed. And the reality there is you're getting because think about it, it gets in your blood. What you're eating, I'm
with that. Let's do a reset, though, Brian. Okay, Zac Kreider here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products. We have 3 goats that are going to be in kitchen. We did lambs last time. 3 goats that are in kitchen right now. We're going to serve them up and cut them up and do a side-by-side comparison of the taste of these goats, right? One of them's raised with?
So pure sunflowers, our sunflower meal with a few minerals. The second one is actually we have a performance goat ration that's got some other stuff in it. You'll learn about that on Monday.
Is that for racing goats?
Racing goats. And then the third one is not our feed. It is a grain soy ration. So
what do we want to see? Or what don't we want to see? Or what do you anticipate we'll see?
Flavor difference. Like if you recall on our lamb project, and everybody wanted more. They said, hey, what's the next animal that you're going to do? What's the next project? So we're going to definitely see a taste difference for sure, because you are what you eat. And grass-fed, grain-fed, sunflowers, corn, it's all going to taste different. We see that with beef, so you're going to see that with goats. Nutritional values to those animals, weight gain, conversion. How well did that animal convert that feed to muscle? So you're going to see a lot of education, a lot of good cooking on Monday.
So can I ask a favor?
Yeah.
Next, can we do a rabbit with our friend over at Jefferson Farms?
Oh, that'd be kind of cool because they actually use some of your products.
Yeah, they've played around with it, and they're using some of our just our black gold, just the little sunflower pellets.
Here's where
there.
my disconnect is. It's like grass-fed, grass-finished, grass-fed, corn finish. Your feed, like, why is yours better? Like, or is it?
Nutritional profile.
Yeah.
If we tie it back, a lot of feed, the oil gets completely extracted out. The fat gets extracted out of that feed, and they have to put it back in for that animal. Ours, because of the way we expel or press instead of solvent extract to get our oil out, that oil is still in the fiber. So that animal is actually forced to digest that fat versus kicking out at the back end as waste. So it forces them to digest that high oleic, monounsaturated sunflower oil, that fat, heart healthy, good for the liver, all the way around, more nutritional, total digestible nutrient to that animal.
And I go local company. Most of it's local product. You're getting it within a couple hundred miles of Colorado.
Well, we got a
lot
lot of people tuning in on Facebook, and so that must be of interest to them. And we're talking about what does your food eat, right?
Right.
And
take it a step further.
And that concept is like, why is this new? I mean, truly, because Jay, you said the other day you want your goats to be raised by junkyard goat pop cans, rusty pop cans.
Not exactly. I didn't say I wanted anything. I just said I wonder if, because goats in my head, they eat cans and garbage and whatever, throw it in front of them. They'll eat. It's like so.
Off your car.
Well, it's like, listen, if I'm eating a goat and it tastes like a candle, it's like, did it eat a candle? Is that what happened? So I mean, I'm just throwing things out there. I don't want a candle goat.
If you only went into half of the burgers that you've ever.
Oh, hey, listen, I don't live in a dream world to where I don't know I'm consuming a bunch of things I can't say on the radio. Like, I get it. What Greg's talking about was merely a pun that had no effect of anything.
Well, and so talking goats here, there's not a lot of goat in Colorado. There's a lot outside of Colorado. We send a ton of goat feed outside of Colorado. And there's a cool fact that my general manager, we're going to talk about on Monday about goats and the population, not only in the United States, but the world, actually. You'd be amazed at how many goats are out there.
So do you know how to say goat in Spanish real quick before we go?
No.
Jay. So if you're out on Facebook and you know how to say it, write it down. Share it with us. Jay, do you know how to say it? Don't tell people till we come back.
Claro que sí, por supuesto, así yo puedo decir eso, pero no voy a decir.
Bueno.
Jay Parker. He's a hit. All right, so Goat Project, that's Monday. Tune in to the Modern Eater Facebook
Chef Justin Brunson.
He's going to be here. It's a private event. We're going to stream it live. You're going to have so much educational fun on Monday. Stick around and stay tuned for that. That's going to be cool. You're going to stick around because we have some success stories to talk about. Chef Chito's going to come up. What's Chef Chito been up to these days? Oh, he's just the champion of local. Bringing local projects into big business. How do you do that? Chef Chito's going to tell us. And what a man he is. So we'll get Chef Chito here, and we'll also get Christopher Moore. He's running around here somewhere. We'll get Christopher Moore up here as well. Champions of the people. That's what it's all about. Local. Speaking of local, Debbie Ortega is over in the Little Rich corner with Little Rich. We'll break off, come right back in the kitchen. It's up next on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Awesome. Okay, so I've got Debbie Ortega here, the Debbie Ortega, who I'm going to call GOAT. But what I mean by that, Denver City Council, greatest of all time. That's where I'm coming from. And look at the salsa she brought me. Debbie, we had a conversation off camera. You want to touch base on what that was?
Yeah, as we're seeing so much development happen in this city, there's a lot of wealth building that's taking place. It is not trickling down to our low-income communities that are being impacted by gentrification and displacement. And we're pushing the envelope with conversations about how do we make sure that with this food hub and the public market that's being talked about at National Western, that we have the grassroots efforts with so many things going on, like Comal on the taxi site,
awesome.
like the revision program in the Westwood neighborhood. So plugging those into the community is such a critical part of creating wealth building for our low-income communities.
Like I said, greatest of all time. This woman works for everyone. And these are important topics. We got to have you back.
Happy to come back anytime.
Hey, we're going to take a break for a few minutes. We've got some words from Growers Organics coming up soon.
Are you intolerant or sensitive to gluten? Or maybe you're a gluten-free lifestyler? Is your menu limited because you've eliminated gluten from your diet? Are you missing the taste of foods that traditionally contain gluten? What if I told you that you can add breads, pizzas, muffins, cakes, cookies, waffles, croissants, English muffins, the list goes on, right back to your menu? Gluten-Free Things is a local gluten-free and vegan bakery that reintroduces you to the foods you love. Owner John Irvin believes gluten-free shouldn't taste like the box that it's packaged in. Trust me when I tell you, the products from his bakery in Arvada are fresh, flavorful, and masterly crafted, leaving you with a product that tastes like the real thing. Simply delicious. The bakery is located in Arvada on 64th and Sims across the street from Arvada West High School. Check out their website at glutenfreethings.com. You'll be amazed with the variety of gluten-free products they make. And chefs, don't leave your gluten-free restaurant guests without options. Contact John at info@glutenfreethings.com. That's info@glutenfreethings.com to see what he can do for you. Give him a shot. 11651 West 64th Avenue in Arvada. It's Gluten-Free Things.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you, too, want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant-tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
Hey, it's Chef Elon Wenzel, owner of Element Knife Company. If you cook, then you'll know the importance of a quality knife and proper care. My training in Japan exposed me to exceptional cutlery. That's why I am so excited to offer you the knives I fell in love with. Element Knife Company is chef-driven, and my goal is to support and educate. Get at me for a knife clinic or conversation. Find me at elementknife.com or by simply calling 303-460-4628. For the best knives in your kitchen, think Element Knife Company.
Listen up, barbecue lovers. Greg Hollenbach here for Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Proud Souls is Denver's authority of all things barbecue. Do you rule your neighborhood with the best backyard barbecue? From beginners to pit masters, Proud Souls has all the equipment you could possibly want. A variety of wood, pellet, and charcoal grills and smokers. Award-winning pit masters and owners of Proud Souls, Dan and Tony, have a passion for barbecue, and it shows. Located on 25th and Federal, Proud Souls retail store is bursting at the seams with your barbecuing essentials, the Spice Guy spices, and superior flavored fuels for your pit like hickory, mesquite, oak, pecan, cherry, apple, peach, maple, grape, and a variety of blends. Hit their website, ProudSoulsBBQ.com, for delicious hands-on barbecue classes and get information on current promotions and deals. For the best in barbecue, locally owned and operated on 25th and Federal, there are guys. Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. That's ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me now!
This is the Modern Eater Show.
That's right, boy! I'm starving!
And now it's time for In the Kitchen.
How am I supposed to keep on feeding you? Kill people?
Brought to you by Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Award-winning competition cooks and purveyors of specialty barbecue supplies right here in Denver, Colorado. ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me all night long.
red wine and balsamic.
I call it controlled chaos here in the kitchen because that's what it is. Studio Kitchen Colorado, full value, themoderneater.com. You can watch us live. And if you're tuning in on our iHeart affiliate, 630 KHOW, welcome. This is the Modern Eater Show. I always describe it as biting into a chocolate chip cookie. You find out that's an oatmeal raisin.
And then I took another bite.
20 minutes later, it's inedible. You're all over the place, man. This is the Modern Eater Show. Welcome, new folks coming into this community all the time. This is your one-stop shop of resource of buying and eating local, and we are the champions of culinary. The voice.
But bigger than the champions of culinary, we are the champions of hyper-local in Colorado, doing it at a level that no one even understands, because the reality is we visit farms, we visit ranches, we visit restaurants, distilleries, breweries. Where else do we visit? Come on, man. It's all Colorado.
Production facilities, factories, all of Colorado. Zac Kreider continues. Talk about that. Zac Kreider and Colorado Mills Sunflower Products. You know him probably on the show for Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil. That's a delicious part of it. Chef Chito, I need your attendance over here. This time is going, and he's working hard. Right
He's making some spaghetti
Chef
squash.
Christopher Moore,
How you guys doing?
Degree Metropolitan Food and Drink, in the house tonight. Chef Christopher Moore, he's just like everybody on the show. Chris, you're a friend of the show. You do so much for us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And happy holidays to you.
And here he is, Mr. Chito.
Chito Arreola. Do you guys mind? Can we focus on Chito for a minute here?
There's Joe.
I mean, truly.
Go on the plate.
Here he is. Go Nuggets, right?
Go Nuggets.
I know he's got that hot new hat.
Chef Chito, if you've heard him on the show many a times, he wears many different hats. Right now, he wears the hat of the executive sous chef for Legends. Is it Legends Hospitality?
Yep. Hospitality.
In the Pepsi Center. And what a complete, cool thing that you're doing for everybody here in Colorado. Usually it's like, okay, here's what you want to do. You got a big job like that. You've got a lot of products that you want to come in. I want 1 or 2 trucks that drop off all the product.
Well, and these guys usually at those big places are so nervous about just keeping their job that they don't do what is in their heart and their passion.
Good point.
And what someone like Chito is doing is saying, wait a second, you guys, I can take the Pepsi Center, and what's cool is it's rubbing off on all the other event centers that they man.
Does anybody care?
Yes, because I'll tell you, the owners care of everywhere. He gets letters now, and they're raving about coming to Colorado and getting good food.
Chito, what are you doing right now, man? You've lost your mind. You're crazy. You've brought in all of these Colorado products into the Pepsi Center, one of which being Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil in all of the fryers. What?
All of it. All of it.
Don't you know the price of that sunflower oil, man?
We have 67 fryers in the building, and we change them every 2 games.
And actually, the price is equal to, and they're getting a better product.
Exactly.
I was going to chime in because in Zach's defense, I mean, it might be a little bit more expensive in the, like when you purchase it, but in the long run, you're actually using less. And you get greater length on it.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't see is when it comes to oils, it's like your car. If you put cheap oil in your car, from there, you're going to not be able to go as long. You put more, a little bit of higher quality, and you can go longer. You can use less, essentially.
And better taste, better fuel performance is what you were just referring to with the car. Same thing has to do with cooking.
It also has, what's the percentage less absorption?
Yep. Chito's seen up to 30% less absorption in previous experiences.
Hold on, I need to do some work here. Don, back at the studio, catch my voice. Buy me a minute. Take that island break out. Throw it into the next hour. This is important. We're talking to Chef Chito right now. Got us an extra minute. We'll get out at 59:50. Chef Chito, it's all yours, man. You brought in some local products. Can you just go down the laundry list of who you've brought in?
Oh, shoot. CM Mills, Growers Organic, Haystack Mountain, our bee farmer, which is
your Nature's Acres, Pastures Plenty beef out of Fort Collins.
Now remember, you're going to the Pepsi Center, you're going to eat this delicious food.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, didn't you get some gluten-free in there?
Aspen Baking Company.
Aspen Baking Company.
Gluten-free things.
Oh, shoot. Spice Guy. Every spice in the building is a Spice Guy.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
And that's about networking, man, right here at the Modern Eater, man.
It's about round table.
Chito, you are a rock star. You are a rock star, Chito.
It's about belief. It's about supporting and actually walking the walk.
Yeah.
Not just talking the talk. You're walking the walk, Chito.
We're trying. And this company, they're letting us do this because we do want to be known as the only arena that's kind of doing that, local. And then we changed our concessions kitchen to local eats.
That's awesome.
Okay, Chito, your head guys have even reached out to me. They're good folks, man. They care about Colorado, and that's a big thing for a big corporation like that.
20 seconds. Chef Christopher Moore, you did lamb 3 ways. What'd you do?
I did lamb with rosemary, thyme, lemon, and white wine. And I also did red wine vinegar balsamic. And then the last one was a curry, bone-in curry. Curry and spice, apples, dried fruit. Should be really good. Zach's over here eating it. What do you think?
I'm over here eating it. It's great.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
It coming from a vegan. That's fantastic.
99%.
I got to tell you. Okay, go eat. Degree Metropolitan Food and Drink. You're going to have a great time. It's downtown
Absolutely.
Denver. Just look it up and Google it. Chef
Across the
Christopher
street
Moore.
from
Is Denver's talk station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30.
I didn't touch it. It did it itself.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Both the FBI and military officials are saying that there's still no firm motive in the mass shooting yesterday at a naval facility in Pensacola, Florida. 4 people killed, including the gunman identified as a Saudi national at the base for flight training. Defense Secretary Mark Esper saying today he can't say it was terrorism, mainly because he wants to let investigators do their work.
What we need to do is make sure we understand the whats and whys and hows of this and not jump to any conclusions before that happens.
As House Democrats spend the weekend drafting articles of impeachment against President Trump, the president saying he believes his personal attorney Rudy Giuliani has found proof that will bring an end to the charges of bribery and abuse of power.
Well, I just know he came back from someplace and he's going to make a report, I think, to the Attorney General and to Congress. He says he has a lot of good information.
The president adding that Giuliani has not told him what he found. A prisoner swap involving the U.S. and Iran. An American graduate student released by Iran in exchange for an Iranian scientist released by the U.S. This is ABC News. This has been a deadly year for police officers in Alabama, and a Huntsville cop is the latest victim.
Authorities say the officer was shot and killed after he stopped a vehicle related to a drug investigation Friday. He's the 6th Alabama officer to die in the line of duty this year. Debbie Medley lives on the street where the officer was gunned down.
Just heartbreaking. So much violence is going on in our city now, and to have a cop shot just trying to do his job.
Huntsville police say the slain officer was a 20-year veteran of the force. A suspect is in custody. Mona Rivera, ABC News.
Pacific Gas and Electric reaching a tentative settlement with wildfire victims for $13.5 billion for the 2017 and 2018 wildfires in Northern California. The fire is blamed on outdated electrical equipment and negligence. The deal still needs court approval. 2 attorneys representing more than 5,000 Northern California fire victims hailed the settlement. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Message and data rate may apply. T&C and privacy terms can be found at babbel.com/terms. Please don't text and drive.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then try Babbel for free by texting SKILL to 64,000. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just text SKILL to 64,000 and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or text SKILL to 64,000 and try it for free. Text SKILL to 64,000.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Highways and in-town roads are starting to quiet down for your drive across the metro area. Westbound I-270 between Quebec and York, that crash has cleared. Still seeing residual slowing. I-25 southbound at Bellevue, that crash is gone. But we see delays continuing southbound I-25 approaching 84th. That earlier accident is out of traffic, but those delays remain back to 112th. Also, an accident as you make your way eastbound I-70 at 6th Ave there in Golden has cleared. Tonight, seeing a low around 34. Cloudy skies. Tomorrow, cloudy, high near 49. Currently 47. I'm Jen So with your Impact Traffic and Weather, 630 KHOW.
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
Lumber Liquidators Flooring has the styles you want and the features you need. This week, save 15% on AquaSeal water-resistant flooring or 10% on all waterproof vinyl. And to help you decide which floor is best, you can see hundreds of our floors in your space with Picture It, our online visualizer tool, only at llflooring.com. These are the floors homes are built on. Lumber Liquidators Flooring.
Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Get closer to the magic than ever before. Play along with the Toy Story gang. Explore the colorful world of Coco. Sail away with Moana. Soar to new heights with Belle. And journey to Arendelle to thaw a frozen heart. It's an all-out celebration at Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Tickets start at $15. Restrictions and charges may apply. Playing at Pepsi Center now through Sunday. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for details.
Bonmore makes snacks from Irish beef, full of protein, gluten-free, no added sugar. Bonmore is the perfect anytime snack for a healthy lifestyle. All-natural Bonmore, Bawnmore. Our quality beef is fed with lush Irish grass and is fully traceable to the family farm where it was raised. Bonmore's jerky and biltong are made with simple recipes from all-natural ingredients. They're keto-friendly too. All-natural Bonmore, Bawnmore. More of what you need in a snack and less of what you don't. Visit our website, bonmore.com, or find us on Amazon. For a limited time, save 10% off all orders on Amazon with code IHEARTIRISH. Bonmore Irish Jerky and Biltong, the delicious choice for healthy, protein-packed snacks.
Denver's talk station. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Now #1 for podcasting.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
The following is a paid advertisement. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of KHOW, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
How about a bite to eat? It's time for the second course, hour #2 of The Modern Eater.
What are you hungry for?
Here's to a meal we're all here for.
Delicious and tasty.
Now we're getting to the good stuff. With your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, and Brian Freeman.
Yes. What do you say? Yes, indeedy, Mr. Tweety?
Yes, indeedy, Mr. Tweety. It is.
The second hour of the Modern Eater Show, live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Thanks for joining us. It means so much to us every Saturday night. Here we are, 6 to 8 p.m. It's a cool thing, man. iHeartRadio affiliate, 630 KHOW, live. Just go to themoderneater.com. You'll see a link. You can watch us live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Periscope, live on Twitter. We'll catch it all. We'll do it all.
I'll tell you what's a cool thing is these three guys. This is three of our sponsors.
Three of my
standing
loves.
across from me that I love. And one is we have a new addition because, Zach's little daughter, she's not that old.
Parker.
But
she makes the name Parker actually
holy
good
smokes.
Again. Jay Parker, what do you think? You got a innocent, adorable young child.
She gave me the pound.
Did she?
Over here. Well,
let's see it. Let me see it. Put your fist up there. See if she even read. It did happen.
Like it. Yeah, I was there.
All right, there he is. Zach Johnson, the Spice Guy.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Quite the
it.
moniker, man. The Spice Guy.
Yeah, everybody needs something. It's like a superhero
but
thing.
It seems like a big responsibility.
It's kind of broad, yeah.
Is it?
Covers all kind of bases.
It does.
Yeah.
That's spicy nonetheless.
El hombre de especial.
What's your best spice pun?
Oh, man. My email moniker is Time Traveler.
Yes. Yeah. I like TY.
TY, baby.
Yeah, TY. Andrew Moore?
Yeah, hey.
Guess what?
What?
Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project, now a new project.
Yes, now next Stop Brew Co. as of early October.
We got you for a half an hour. I always called Andrew Moore the most interesting man in the world. Truly, you sit down and have a conversation with him, you're like, I'm intellectually inept. I can't even talk to him. I mean,
well, what makes you intellectually inept is do you notice every one of his beers tonight? It has a different. What does it have? Is this a state? Is this a city? Is this a country? Greg, what is this?
Istanbul on that one.
Not Constantinople.
So here's the deal: when you take a classically trained And I can't even believe that this
Archaeologist,
I can't even believe it's his title. Classically trained archaeologist.
No, wait. I think he's
brewer.
a PhD. That's a little.
No, unfortunately, no.
I always go there with you, right? I mean, because you're the doctor.
master's degree.
You're just a master.
But you can call me Master Andrew if you want.
Master Andrew here.
Yeah.
And then there he is, the sharpest guy on the table.
Sharpest guy on the table.
Which is a good pun. Elon Wenzel here with us. I don't know what you're going to contribute, but you're my favorite local company.
Good to be here. Thank you.
And Elon, we're going to talk some beer and spices and those types of things. You don't drink.
Not a lot.
I don't know what but you cut.
I cut.
You're a cutter.
I'm a cutter.
Yes. Do you remember what movie that's from, kids? When we were kids?
What? Jay knows.
The Cutters. Come on, the Cutters and the Locals.
You know.
Anyways, but I will tell you, I love.
You dig it.
Yeah.
Element Knife Company. What's the special? How are you selling knives right now?
So we just did a holiday sale for Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and Black Friday. We're going to have another one coming down the pike here shortly for the next round of holidays.
I promise you, someday he'll bring knives in here, and we'll open it up to you, and he'll come in and you can buy some.
I'm actually working on something for you guys. It's a secret until it's ready.
It's always a secret. Just like,
but I love his knives, and that's no secret that those darn knives.
Look at
I've cut myself more with your knives because I like to play around and jump around, and I'm no trained guy.
You push the limits in the
and I'm push the limits.
There should be a beautiful knife display.
It's coming.
Right there by Chef Chito. And then this spice cabinet that's owned by one person.
Right there.
That's the spice guy. Is that the way you want that to look?
It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good.
He's like, it looks pretty good, yeah. First of the year, Zach's coming to my house, and he's going to dig through my spice cabinet. And we're going to do something. New year, new spices, right?
New year, new spice. It's a brand new
true,
hashtag, baby.
Man, it's true. Hey, Andrew Moore, what spices, how do they play into brewing?
I mean, we use spices in almost all of our beers. All four of our new canned products have various spices in them that are kind of inspired by the places that those beer styles or those travels or whatever are from. So we've got our Kolsch's. We use fresh lemongrass and fresh ginger. The Amsterdam is a Hefeweizen with chamomile, coriander, and orange peel. We still do a fresh basil IPA. And then our Turkish coffee stout with Turkish coffee, cardamom, and orange peel. So that's been kind of our signature brand of beer making.
When are you going to put a little hemp in that Amsterdam? That's the question there.
Yeah. I've got one for you. I've got one for you.
Yeah.
New idea, and the first one from me is usually free. Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah?
And we'll use Reaper powder in it.
Wait, not a bad
First
idea.
one is free.
Andrew, come on, you're a smart
that's a
guy.
pretty good idea. I like it.
Would you do it?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. So you with Next Stop, you're doing like you're locked and loaded, tried and trues right now. Right?
I mean, yeah, we're going full tilt.
My Turkish coffee stout is now called what?
Istanbul, right? So yeah, again, it's with the name change, it's the same sort of beers that everybody enjoys. They've taken on the names of the places that have inspired them. So either through interesting culinary regions like Southeast Asia, Bangkok, or places that I was fortunate enough to travel to, like Istanbul, when I was working as an archaeologist. So to really try to kind of capture those international flavors.
Well, so cuisine is a big influence on you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so as you traveled with your travels throughout the world, you would find indigenous spices that would create these delicious beer recipes that you brought back for us here. And while I have the spice guy, what's interesting regions to you, to where you're sourcing some spices from that you're like, hey, you got to take a look at this?
So a couple guys from the team and myself are heading down to Oaxaca, so southern Mexico. We lease a farm down there, so we'll be going down there at the beginning of January. Sort of just check the things out, make sure all of our stuff is planted in the ground and ready for harvest in around April. So they do 2 harvests a year down there since it's so easy to grow all year round. And so we'll be there January, April, and then we'll go back again September, November.
Zach, are you just doing spices down there? Or is that, I'm sorry, peppers, because that's Oaxaca's very, very well known for their peppers.
Yeah, so we're doing peppers from 2 locations, both in Mexico. So we have one farm we're leasing on the Baja coast. Just Todos Santos. It's a secret. Don't anybody go there. It's a horrible place.
Horrible place.
It's like Denver.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Denver. And then same with Oaxaca. So we do 2 farms, and they both grow different chilies, so different styles. We'll do a lot more of the pasillas from Oaxaca, and they have a very famous pasilla de Oaxaca. And we'll also buy some salt while we're there. Chito, who's cooking tonight here, he loves to use the worm salt. So these worms live in the chili fields, eat the chilies, die. They harvest the worms while they're still alive, and they give the salt an amazing flavor.
Is that a true story?
It's a real thing, yeah.
Oh, my.
They're using it as cilantro.
All right, follow my thought process on this. Hottest spice in culinary.
Hottest spice in culinary?
Yeah, not hot, but hottest as in, like, biggest right now.
Well, Filipino food is kind of blowing up, so I'm not entirely sure what they use, but I know it's getting popular, yeah.
Zach, you might know.
Bananas. Yeah, no.
That's not really a spice, right? Banana spice?
Well, you'd be surprised what we can do, Greg.
Really?
If you ever came by our shop, you might have a couple ideas about what's going on over there.
Interesting, all right.
We're going to have to I see that as an invitation.
I told him
Let's do field trip. Let's do field trip next week, man.
Hey, you're harder to nail down than I am.
But, hey, if you put me down on this man's list. Oh, next week's not a good week for you, though, right?
No, it is. I said for you, I'm available anytime.
Yeah. Okay. Then we're doing it. No.
Totally
He's serious.
lying.
We've been talking all week long.
For free,
we're going over
whenever.
Yeah. Andrew Moore, what's the most readily used spice in brewing?
Oh, man. Probably either coriander or orange peel. Yeah, I was going to say citrus peels, too. Yeah. Coriander shows up in a couple different styles of beer traditionally, like wits and gozas. And orange peel shows up all over all kinds of IPAs and saisons.
The coriander, that to me is dangerous, because there's a lot of people out there that cilantro tastes like soap.
Yeah.
And if you're going down that coriander road, does that turn your beer off to a bunch of
not
people
everybody's a super taster, Brian.
But I don't.
Where it tastes like soap.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that even the people who taste soap with cilantro have the same, a similar reaction to coriander.
The spice guy's shaking his head saying no.
The aversion is there for some people, but I think most people's palates probably aren't that refined. Greg's right.
Guys, what I would like to do is, if we can, take a break and come back and build a beer.
Build a beer.
Can we build a beer together?
Sure.
Do you mind?
I mean, we've already got Chernobyl. Can we put a heartbeat in it?
Andrew, do you cook at home?
I do, yeah.
Do you have knives?
Not good ones.
Not good ones?
No.
What's it take for you to buy a good knife?
A Christmas present from you?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, good idea, right?
You said you loved
not
us.
a bad
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. And I do love Andrew. So
I gave Elon my card already. So
that might be in your stocking. But truly, what's it take for somebody to actually pull the trigger on a good knife?
We've been doing this all weekend, or 2 weekends. Elon and I have been working a holiday market together, and we're scratching our heads. Everybody that's watching on Twitter or Facebook, text in and tell us what would it take to put you over the edge?
Yeah, to buy a good knife. Do people think that they can just take whatever crappy knife that they have and sharpen it and it'll be a great knife?
I think so, and that's one of my biggest battles is when you look on Amazon or wherever, you can see a knife that looks great in a picture and it looks similar to what I have. But when you feel it and see it in person...
And it's all the knives in my kitchen.
Yeah.
And you will actually go to people and say, what are your knives needs?
Yep, I do sales calls, sharpening, knife skills, classes, etc.
Elon, I need to sharpen some knives.
Let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Elon Wenzel, Element Knife Company, elementknife.com. Perfect. Spices are good. Well, beer, too. If you had knives, beer, and spices, you'd probably have a pretty good Christmas, right? I mean, all together. Those are the good things. Let's take a break. What do you think? Little Rich is chomping at the bit. He's sitting over there with Chef Chito Arreola and his Nuggets hat. Go Nuggets. Why not? The Broncos are terrible, so we'll go with the Nuggets and the Avalanche. Although we can't watch them on TV, which is terrible. But Chito's going to give you the hookup.
Why can't you watch them?
You haven't heard?
If you have DirecTV, you can watch them.
Greg doesn't have cable even.
Yeah, cable you can.
If I don't have a car, you think I got cable, man? Come on. Give me a break. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come right back. We're going to continue with these gentlemen right here. Brian, you better stop it, Mr. $70,000 car.
Hey, man, that's 70,000 hours in a work week.
I bought it used, baby.
I like it. Having fun, obviously. Studio Kitchen, Colorado, off to Little Rich in the Little Rich corner.
Thanks, guys. And quit spending so much money on cars, dang it. Hey, look who has returned. The prodigal son, Chito. Back to the kitchen, man. Yes. Welcome back. What's been happening since you left here?
Happy to be back here. It's I left home for a little bit there for a few months.
Yeah.
I've been super busy at Pepsi Center there, so if you guys want to stop by and say hi, that's where you'll find me every single day.
I got to go catch a Nuggets game. I got to catch an Avs game. Yes. And if I'm there, what should I try?
Well, if you are in the main concourse, we have a few concession stands that we are cooking from scratch. The cheese sauce from scratch.
Wow.
So it's not out of a bag. It's not the regular yellow cheese sauce on the nachos. And then you can find some rock-related tortilla in every stand on there.
Oh!
So, yes.
That'd be awesome. I got to swing by soon and check it out.
Yeah.
They got one of the best. They bagged one of the best chefs in the whole region. He's probably got the biggest taqueria in the state.
So, yeah.
Welcome back,
busy.
brother.
Thank you.
Hey, we're going to be right back.
Listen up. Do you want to save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill? Of course you do. Saving money is making money. Your savings is just a phone call away. Call Brian Rizzuto now, 720-245-5771. 720-245-5771. It's Encore Energy.
How is it that apps can help you with everything? Your steps, your sleeping patterns, the traffic. But you pay for car insurance that's based on, well, who knows what? The way everyone else drives? The insurance company's whim? Well, that's what Nobler Insurance is here to fix. Car insurance with personalized monthly rates and rewards based on how...
No, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Serious rates or
we're coming back. We have a live read in a minute.
Our app can measure things like how hard you brake.
I just went to break. He didn't say I heard radio.
I'm just trying to figure out why there's a commercial in between. Time of day and even road choice. Do you head out?
Because you guys told me to move that last one, to blow out the last brake, so I just put it in the first.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, dude. I didn't know where to put it. Okay.
Drivers can save a lot.
Okay.
Nobler is simply smart insurance for smart drivers.
Okay.
So get your quote at Nobler.com. That's NOBLR.com.
Individual savings may vary.
30 seconds till live read.
The policy.
Rocker Spirits. It's a distillery. It's a place to hang. It's about quality. It's about taste. It's about passion. Infused with American spirit. Rocker whiskey, Rocker rum, Rocker vodka. Get ready for an original look, feel, and experience. Old Town Littleton. And if you get hungry while you're sipping on some drinks,
10 seconds till I read.
Truck line in town. Open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Rockerspirits.com. Rockerspirits.com.
All right, back to the show in just a second, everyone. But before we do that, we're going to talk
Is it my favorite bread?
Of course it's your favorite bread. It's everybody's favorite bread with gluten, because there is another bakery that doesn't do gluten. This one does gluten, and they do it very well. I'm talking about Aspen Baking Company, aspenbaking.com. Whether you're into hoagies, focaccias, ciabattas, baguettes, croissants, bear claws, the list goes on and on.
What's your favorite?
Focaccia.
Mine's
focaccia
sourdough.
bread.
Andrew, what's yours?
Sourdough.
Yeah.
Sourdough.
Yeah,
I'm a focaccia
They
guy.
say, the girls there say, feed the bitch, man. They feed that sourdough, and it's delicious.
Well, it is delicious, and AspenBaking.com is where you go to get that deliciousness, but you're going to get it, and you're going to get it with no preservatives. You're going to get it with no artificial coloring and no chemicals in any of their bread. So,
can you believe somebody out there would say, I love artificial flavors, I love artificial colorings, I love anything artificial and processed?
Well, listen, I don't think that people would say that.
I want Wonder Bread.
Yeah, now you don't.
No.
You want AspenBaking.com. So one more time, and back to the show with Andrew Moore. From Next Stop Brew Co. Next Stop Brew Co. I'll get it, Andrew.
You had to look at the board for that?
No. I didn't know which direction
he rebranded, so it would be easier.
Hey, man, listen, leave me alone, all right? It's AspenBaking.com.
Yo, what's up? This is Justin Brunson, Culture Meat and Cheese in Denver Central Market. I'm a meat guy. And you're listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Okay, cool. The Modern Eater Show is back. Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman. We're back in the saddle. This is good times. Andrew Moore, Next Stop Brewing Company. And what a great segue, because Jay looked back at the board. He said, Next Stop Brewing Company, you rebranded.
We did, yeah.
So, I mean, Intrepid Sojourner Beer Beer Project just when I started getting the hang of it, and I loved it, and it's like everything I need in a beer company, because you are the Sojourners, you are the Beer Project, you're making beers that are probably beers that other folks won't even attempt to do. But here it is, next up. Why the rebrand?
So we wanted, especially as we moved in, we started in May distributing. So we got kegs out there, and then just in November we started getting cans out there. And we found we wanted something that was just going to, I think, penetrate the market a little bit better from a marketing perspective. So it's the same beer. It's the same people. It's the same, everything else. It's been, a little bit of a transition. People are like, it's great that Budweiser bought you. I'm like, Budweiser didn't buy me. If they had, I'd be driving a $70,000 car somewhere.
Well, but wait, I got to slow down on that, because I think what you did, and I could be way off, Andrew. And you and I are friends. We haven't even spoken about this.
Yeah.
But get this concept. Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project and all the beers you did, the name and the beers were a mouthful.
Yeah.
At every level, right?
We didn't name the beers, too, because we felt like that was just like another layer of information that would make it more difficult, right? If you got an Intrepid Sojourner and you've got some ridiculously long, complicated beer name, and then everything, it's just too much information.
Andrew, are you saying the general consumer is a pinhead and they can't take?
No, I don't think.
No, I'm not saying that at all. And I'm just saying, you have to consider how the information is being conveyed. It's like if you come into the tap room and I can have a 20-minute conversation with you about Intrepid Sojourner, right? Then you leave feeling great. But if you're just looking for a beer at a liquor store or something like that, not everybody can communicate the story once you get outside of the tap room the way that you can communicate it at home.
There's a reason why they call it the 30-second elevator pitch. And the reality is if you think about this, what he's done is he's taken ISP. In my eyes, and I loved it. I loved what you guys did. I
loved it too. I fought for it for a long time, right? I mean, it was my name, and we fought for it as long as we could.
Sojourn Project.
Well, wait, hold on, because I know this background information. You actually it was going to be something even different than that.
It started out even nerdier than Intrepid Sojourner. I mean, it started out as Third Triumvirate Brewing Project, because there were three of us, and we were all classics nerds, and
Let me throw something at you. When I was a kid, my mom and dad, there was this thing called the 60s, and there was a lot of liquid and other things going around. They wanted to call me Caleb Ezekiel Shoeman Freeman. Thank God they just said Brian.
You know what they wanted my name to be? Gahan. Gahan Hollenbach. So you can
you wouldn't have gotten teased in school at all.
Anytime you want to. Hey, Gahan, how you doing?
Yeah.
And so I think it's remarkable, because pivoting is one of the things I always say when it comes to business. You got to learn to pivot, and when and why you're doing it. So next stop to me is not too far out of your ethos of my next stop of travel.
Yeah, I mean, and we tried to convey that, I think, with the beers taking on the names of the places that kind of inspired the flavors. It's like it's the same, the only thing that changed is the top line, right? And so it's the same kind of travel-inspired, kind of spice-forward beers.
No, but it's just easier, because now it's not Basil IPA, now it's just Bangkok.
Okay,
right.
Let's jump into that. So with your travels, it's important can you actually take a region or a city in a country, or a country in general, and can you capsulize the taste of that region and put it in a beer? Or do you think you're doing a good job with that?
I mean, I think we're making good beer. I think that, I don't think we're trying to say that, this is what Rome tastes like. But it's like, these are some of the flavors that I think people associate with Rome, with Italian cuisine.
Which is what?
Which is sweet Italian basil, right, in this particular beer. So there's lots of other.
Can you go down the list and say what your interpretation is for these beers that you have?
Yeah, so, basil and hops, super similar flavors. So, and again, a lot of these beers started with my experience in the Mediterranean. So, basil, very popular in lots of Mediterranean cuisine. Amsterdam, so named because Amsterdam was kind of in the middle of the spice trade for Western Europe when the Belgian wit style was being developed. So, a lot of the coriander, orange peel, chamomile was coming through Amsterdam.
Your most popular right now?
It depends on the time of year. It's probably actually the Bangkok when it's on, the Kolsch, fresh lemongrass and ginger. You do find a lot of curries and different cuisine from Bangkok.
That would be my go-to.
Yeah, so this one's only 4.5%, real light, easy drinking. All the flavors are. This is like fairly subtle, right? Like we're trying to make a beer, right? Not like a lemongrass flavored alcoholic. Yeah.
Well, but in your opinion, where do you think the consumer is these days? Are we at this place of big, full beers anymore? Or are we at a place of lighter? I mean, because I think we go through cycles, right? Yeah. Where do you think we are in the cycle now?
And is it seasonal? Go ahead.
Well, so there are definitely seasonal cycles, but I think there's also like bigger cycles in terms of like what a year or two ago, it was, everybody was talking about pastry stouts, right? These big, huge, heavy stouts with lots of sugar and vanilla and graham crackers and marshmallows and all these things in them. And now I think one of the big things is craft lager. Everyone's sort of like we're getting back to these lower ABV, flavorful, well-made pilsners
Andrew,
and things like that.
Andrew, will you do seltzer?
We have a seltzer, yeah. We've done it. I think seltzer, it's,
Talk to me about seltzer, Andrew.
It's an interesting thing. It's been fun for us to kind of play with some of the different flavors, right? It's easy for seltzer to take these on. But I think it's mostly like it's an off-premise thing, right? It's cans. Right? People aren't really coming into a tap room for seltzer. They're taking it to parties in cans. And
Andrew, let me jump in there because what about the gluten-free person? Because we were talking about this. It's a big movement. We've got John Irving with gluten-free things. Yeah. And the reality is this is a big
that's going gluten-free.
Right now, I'm trying something just to try. And to see because there's so much information about it.
Right.
In the world of seltzer, right, that's a crossroad that potentially, because some of the seltzers are made with malt and they're not gluten-free, right? I think.
Well, so it can't be gluten-free. So everything we make is gluten-reduced. So there's an enzyme that we use that breaks down the gluten during fermentation. And so all of our beers are gluten-reduced. They're not gluten-free because there's malt involved. Our seltzer is technically not gluten-free because it's made in the same equipment that we make
It's
beer.
not dedicated.
Right. It's not. So you have to have like a separate dedicated thing.
But you're washing it out, and I mean for all.
Oh yeah, I mean it's clean. It's just at that point it's mostly like government regulation what you can call gluten-free.
We're going over, but I want to do this. Okay, so folks want to know. We're going to cut this out as a clip. Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project, you have a tap room.
We do.
There it is. Here's the question. It's right there on 8th and Santa Fe.
Yes.
It's there. People can go in there every single day, and they're enjoying.
We're not closed.
You're not closed at all. What are you going to do in 2020 with this transition with Next Stop, with your tap room with the Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project? A minute, 2 minutes, succinct, of what the plans for Next Stop is.
So right now we're focusing pretty heavily on distribution. We just launched Amsterdam this week. We just launched these cans in November, so we're going to continue pushing cans in Colorado. We're going to start pushing cans outside of Colorado, probably in the spring, March or April. And then we're going to keep operating the tap room there on 8th and Santa Fe.
Will it be Next Stop?
It will be Next Stop, yeah. So everything is officially, Next Stop. I think Next Stop at Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project is the full moniker for the tap room itself. But yeah, it's all Next Stop. We actually just got the big sign out front changed over. So,
restaurant, bar owners, are you available?
Sure. Yeah, we've talked about food. I think food is a big thing in brewing. Lots of breweries are looking at kitchens. They're looking at that kind of a thing because the competition is about experience now with the volume of breweries as opposed to good beer because almost all of us are making fantastic beer.
How can folks get a hold of you?
So if you want to get a hold of me, you can email me, Andrew, at nextstopbrew.co, or you can find us on the website. And if you're curious about where our beer is in Colorado, you can find that on the website, too. There's a beer finder page that has a map of Colorado and everywhere our beer is available.
And fashionistas who want to get that sweatshirt,
come to the tap room.
Yeah, he's
right
a man that loves...
Right at 8th and Santa Fe.
He's a man that loves beer and food. If you're a restaurant owner, if you're a chef, and you want to get involved and do a beer dinner, this is the guy to get a hold of. Andrew Moore, Next Stop Brewing Company, formerly known as Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project. The last question that I have for you is, here we are. 2020, Next Stop Brewing Company. I know that you're going to have a lot of beers that you're hopefully putting into the market for buying as well. But what can we expect from you as far as distribution and where we can find you?
So you can find us in a lot of both on and off premise places around Colorado. We work with Colorado craft distributors, and they take us all over. So, again, if you go on our website, nextstopbrew.co, there's a page there that says Beer Finder, and that'll show you, bring up a map of an interactive map of Colorado, and you can look wherever you are and see where our beer is.
Do it. This is the guy. I mean, Andrew Moore, probably the most talented brewer that I know, and you will fall in love with him just like we have. So give him a shout. Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project, now known as Next Stop Brewing Company, and I can't wait to see your next.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me on the show.
Last question.
Yes.
There's one more.
All right.
Is Beercraft going to come back?
I don't know. You know, Jeff especially is super busy. Spice Trade is opening up their new location down in the Tech Center, and we are kind of running ragged back and forth with distribution and contract brewing. So, but it's
people
definitely
love
something.
You, people miss you. Just so
but it's definitely something we're interested in. It's a blast to talk to people and learn about the industry.
Most interesting, and we know. Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project, now Next Stop Brewing Company, and hopefully Beercraft right here on the Modern Eater Network. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
There he is, Andrew Moore. Man, coming up, this is a cool one. Little Rich, you've got this band right here, Elin Wenzel, Element Knife Company, and Felicia Ohnmacht from the Whiskey Sisters. She's up next right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Greg, if you want to cut like a Hollywood director, get a hold of Elin. Let me tell you what happened. Thanksgiving, my daughter Melissa cooks us a 12-pound prime rib.
That's a big prime rib.
And normally in my house before, I didn't have anything that would come close to it. And then I reached out to Elin, who I knew. I'm like, what do you got? And he hooked me up. $300, but oh my God, like butter. I mean, truly like butter.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know
Sharpest knives in the drawer.
This is going to be like in my kitchen. If I'm carrying this around, this is like my power suit or my power tie.
That's right.
People that you know, I can't cook anything, but with this, they think I know how to cook.
It makes cooking fun.
This is
absolutely.
This is a great present. Whether you're a chef, whether you're a tortilla savant, whether you're a radio host, anything. Reach out to Elin. Elin, how do we get a hold of you?
ElementKnife.com.
And one more time?
ElementKnife.com.
Yes, I tell you, for the best in the biz, everyone knows this guy, everyone loves him. Look at this. This is incredible. This is the real deal.
Best handcrafted cutlery.
Yeah! Woo-hoo. Hey, we're going to be right back. We got words from Rome Sausage coming right up.
Of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand-mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Wear black and eat spices. Hey, Modern Eater listeners, this is Zach from The Spice Guy, Colorado's favorite spice company. Spice is the variety of life. At The Spice Guy, we have a passion for sourcing the best ingredients from the best farmers all over the world. Choose from thousands of different GMO-free spices and ingredients, or let us create and blend custom flavor profiles for whatever style of food it is that you're working with. With over 1,000 restaurants, food brands, and chefs behind us, you can't go wrong when you choose The Spice Guy for all your spice needs. The Spice Guy.
Spicy.
Born in Breck, raised in Denver.
TheSpiceGuyCo.com. Listen up, barbecue lovers. Greg Hollenbach here for Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Proud Souls is Denver's authority of all things barbecue. Do you rule your neighborhood with the best backyard barbecue? From beginners to pit masters, Proud Souls has all the equipment you could possibly want. A variety of wood, pellet, and charcoal grills and smokers. Award-winning pit masters and owners of Proud Souls, Dan and Tony, have a passion for barbecue, and it shows. Located on 25th and Federal, Proud Souls retail store is bursting at the seams with your barbecuing essentials, the Spice Guy spices, and superior flavored fuels for your pit like hickory, mesquite, oak, pecan, cherry, apple, peach, maple, grape, and a variety of blends. Hit their website, ProudSoulsBBQ.com, for delicious hands-on barbecue classes and get information on current promotions and deals. For the best in barbecue, locally owned and operated on 25th and Federal, there are guys. Proud Souls Barbecue and that's ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Hi, this is Lori Midson. I'm a food hack, a.k.a. food writer. I was just told that I should put my line. And you're listening to The Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, yes, you are. We're back at it. Studio Kitchen, Colorado, The Modern Eater Show. This is fun. All right, swinging through the last half hour of the show. Felicia Ohnmacht here is with us, and a lot of people say, bye, Felicia. I'm saying, hi, Felicia.
Hello.
What's happening with you, Mama?
What's going on? Just
good to see you.
Hanging out. We just got back from the farm.
Happy holidays.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Happy holidays to you, too.
The farm. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, a lot of people may not know.
What Whiskey Sisters is?
Yes.
We sell grain from the family farm that was founded in 1907, 2 distilleries, or anyone else that would want raw grain. And we get to taste the yumminess that comes from it, from drinking some gin.
Have you always done that with the farm?
No, it's all been totally crop-based cattle. We like to graze cattle,
feed, yep.
And also, selling it to the feedlots. And this was a new way, being in Burlington right now, and even in rural areas, the diversification needs to happen. You just can't continue to sell it to the co-op, and you can't continue to sell it to the feedlots. You're just not going to make it. Mm-hmm. So just providing that diversification for the family. And my sister got this crazy idea one day, and here we are.
How big is a holiday dinner?
How big is a holiday dinner?
Yeah.
If everyone shows up, we're looking at a really long table of like 20 people.
That's not bad.
Okay.
No, it's not
because you've just got you and your sister. Are there?
There's a third sister as well.
Okay.
And then she has 2 girls, and then my son and my family, and then Stephanie and whoever she tries to bring along, and then we have a cousin, and then we got more cousins, and here we are.
And then here you are.
I love it.
Okay, so basically you guys pivoted and figured out a way. Here we are. We've got all this land. We've got all this farming that we're doing. You have an illustrious list of people that you work with.
I know, and Deviation is one of them.
I know. Deviation coming right up. But do you mind just talk about 2, 3, 5, 10 folks that you're doing?
Well, you guys
name drop.
Oh, you want me to name drop besides Deviation? I always feel bad that I'm cheating on my clients when I'm with them. I'm like, oh my God.
You're not
quite
cheating.
Honestly.
You're helping the industry grow.
Yep.
So we have Law's Whiskey House was our first. Rocker was our second, Rocker Spirits, which you guys always have on. We've got Deviation Distilling. We got Meridium Spirits. I'm going to shout out to them because they're watching right now. And we start to go down Ty Brothers Distilling, who has been here before. Bear Creek has bought from us once in a while as well. And you guys are making me have to
Storm King.
Storm King. We love Storm King. When are you going to have Storm King on?
Back when we go through the road trip.
Yeah,
he's
got an open invitation.
Chef Daniel's got to come over here.
He's got an open invitation anytime he wants to come to Denver. He's welcome here in the kitchen.
We got to get Chef Daniel.
7 hours to get here.
It's not that long. I think it's 4. But Chef Daniel's all about showing up and Storm King at the same time. Coming here to the kitchen.
When Dustin comes on and talks about bricks, people's eyes glaze over.
Oh, it's a total it's taken me a while to learn what that was.
You don't build bricks. My house is built out of bricks, right?
It's all about a conversion. It's about how much yield you're going to get off of the cook. So sometimes if you're not using as good a quality of product, you won't get as much yield, which means you've spent all this money and you're not going to get as much booze that's going to go into your barrel. So Dustin really likes to talk about how our grain gives him more bricks and more sugars, which means more product in more barrels. It's just more efficient.
Why you? Why do you have that?
I like to think it's like the grain.
It's the water.
It's the water. It's the soil. It's the great grandfather sticking it in the ground in the right spot.
Well, and we're finding out bricks actually means more than just sugar quite honestly, because I've been doing a lot of tests around nutrients and how they correlate with higher bricks means higher nutrients. And so we've just scratched the surface, quite honestly.
So what do you do to your land? I mean, this is the motherland.
Lots of love
right,
on it.
Yeah, lots of love on it. But are you rotating?
Well, totally. Crop rotating totally has to happen, or else you're going to just suck that soil dry.
Yep.
I know, what's the sunflower guy's name?
Zac.
I thought it was Zac. Zac, they have to run in that. Sunflowers suck a lot of the soil dry from all those nutrients. So I know they have to work hard on making sure they turn around and put more nutrients back into it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all about crop rotation. It's all about letting the cows graze in the winter. Natural nutrients
Stomping it down, and not a lot of people know about that.
Lots of poo.
They're working the soil for you.
Yeah. Right.
So I think you're a rock star.
Thank
and
you.
I just think you pick and choose people you want to work with. It's like, I do. I think you're like, okay, well, I'll work with
those
you.
people are legit.
It might be cool. But how do you do this? So, and now we have a new person on the show. Little Rich, just to the side, just a little bit. Okay, Cindy Wiley. I know. Cindy, I would have done that just by your name tag. But
It's okay.
I'm getting older. Please do an introduction.
So Deviation contacted us almost 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And David is from the restaurant industry. He is an ingredient snob. We love our ingredient snobs because they're going to care. They're going to care where it comes from. He's our perfect client.
David is our co-owner. He's also our head distiller. Like Felicia said, comes from the food and beverage world. So is very, very particular about what he puts into his spirits, and settled on Felicia and Stephanie, and we've had the relationship for 2 years, so we couldn't be happier.
All right, let's dig in. Yeah. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk all deviation.
Perfect.
Right here. You're going to stick around. You're not going to. Yeah, we got another microphone for sure.
Hey, David.
We can do that during the break.
But we're going to go right over to Little Rich and Christopher Moore in the Little Rich corner.
All right, Little Rich, take it away. We'll be right back with these gals right here on the Modern Eater Show.
Thank you, Greg. Greg, thank you. Look who we got over here. Our last segment, but we saved the best for last.
Oh, come on.
Chris is like our dessert over here. Awesome
Thanks,
chef.
buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it.
So we were talking before we came over here, the camera was on, about the holidays and work-life balance. What are you doing?
I'm actually getting out of the country. I'm going to go visit family and friends in Guatemala and go climb a volcano and maybe visit a coffee and chocolate plantation. Go spend some time on a black sand volcanic beach and just to relax because that's needed.
Wow, I'm lucky if I go to Arvada, and this guy's going all over the world.
No, not all over the world. Just it's just a fun thing to do, And everyone needs that. Chefs need that. Everyone needs that. Everyone needs that break to get away. It's a great opportunity to just connect. It's fun to get out and just enjoy life because life's too short to not enjoy it.
And life's really short for me. But I'll tell you, one of the things you got to do.
Come on.
One of the things, though, it's one thing to get away. And I had this conversation with someone. We have to give ourselves permission to just unplug and let it go.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
The best of the best right here.
Cheers.
We've got a few words coming up from our sponsors at Growers Organic Colorado Mills. We'll be back.
Do you want loyalty from customers who care about that as well? I can help by providing top quality organic produce with reliable delivery, knowledgeable sales team who genuinely care about how food is grown, transported, and served. Chefs, Growers Organic will ensure you have excellent ingredients for your next James Beard dinner, your nightly specials, or your regular menu items. Join the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Rockalita's Tortillas. Rockalita,
30 seconds till I read.
For local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you too want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
All right, back to the show in just a second. But before we do that, we have to talk A+ Beverage Solutions. Those are our guys putting in tap lines all over town, Greg.
Which you do all the time, right? I mean, you are somebody who's pouring tap lines, and there's nothing worse than pouring inefficient beer. That's a terrible problem. A lot of times there's foam coming into pitchers, and then they're pouring it. The temperature changes. It's just tacky. But Jeff Rourke, he's making everybody's dreams come true. Jeff Rourke and Ed Plus Beverage Solutions, family-owned and operated for 20 years. Specialty tap installations, beer, wine. We're getting ready for the next segment here. What do you do, Jay? If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you guys doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
We implore you, don't pour your money down the drain. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions. It's in the name. He will find a solution for you. All you have to do, Brian, get a pen.
Okay, give me 1 second, but throw his number out and I'm getting a pen.
720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. Please call. Take care of it. Get a solution. It's Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions.
Now it's time for the Modern Eaters Booze in the News segment.
I like my beer cold, my meat grilled, and my entertainment explosive.
All we need is a chair and a cooler beer.
Here's your booze news.
If we could have that all the time, a little dancing before Booze in the News, all the booze news you can use on the Modern Eater Show. That's right. A little bit of bluegrass never hurt anybody. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely not.
All right, as we continue on the Modern Eater Show, it is Booze in the News, so why not? And it's a Deviation Distilling Company right here.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, guys.
He says.
Felicia Ohnmacht, you're here with us. You're supplying to these guys,
Yeah,
right?
we're supplying a millet for the Deviation Mountain Herb Gin. It's a I'll talk for it for a second, David, but it's a bourbon forward gin. So it's all the mash bill of bourbon, and then he is awesome and does every botanical separately.
So David and Cindy, David, I hear you're picky. You're like a culinary guy. You're like, I need to have these things perfect.
We clued him in, Dave.
That might be true.
Which is fine. And we love, actually. So here we are. Could you please give us the 30-second elevator speech of who we are?
We are Deviation Distilling, and we make whiskey, we make gin, and we make them in pairs. So we make this gin alongside our 4-grain bourbon. This is our 4-grain gin. We make this alongside our single malt whiskey. This is our single malt gin, and we do a rye whiskey, and this is the rye gin. All of those grains have different flavors, so we choose different botanicals to complement those flavors.
First of all, cheers. Beautiful bottles. I mean,
and she said millet, though.
Millet, yes.
Which one is that in?
That's the 4th grain in our 4-grain bourbon.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. You know, Colorado, little fact for you, Colorado grows more millet than any state in the entire country.
But here's the deal.
That's why we chose it.
True. And it's drought resistant.
Yep.
I had someone go get me some tater tots, and they brought back millet tots, and I was so disappointed. It was
Get out of here. Was it because it was in your head, or did you taste it?
I mean, I didn't like it at all, but this is a whole different thing. The millet's going to serve as a whole different thing for this. But you're mixing drinks for us here tonight, right?
We are.
Now, I love talking business. Right? David, you want to do this with
me?
Yeah,
let's do this.
Okay. So a lot of times when it comes to distilleries, they have a lot of what I call like let's produce and let's see. So we're sitting as long as we can until our brown spirits are ready, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to sell gin. This gin is like, stop right now, just do gin. Like, you have a great gin.
You know, the thoughts crossed our minds, actually, to become a gin company.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we weren't going to be a company that wanted to make whiskey and then did something else as a second thought and didn't put much focus into it.
So no vodka?
No vodka.
No rum?
No rum. This is our
brown spirits are coming?
Brown spirits
You're sitting on them?
Yes.
How long have they been in the barrel?
Well, we have
just about 2 years.
Yeah, we have a second birthday coming up.
Just about.
Oh, my God. You guys are way ahead of the game.
We're getting close.
So who has all the money in the world that they don't mind hemorrhaging right now?
None of us.
No.
None. I know, and
I'm
that's
not sure how that's
thing.
happening.
That's right, but you're sitting on liquid gold with those brown spirits. How many barrels do you have in gestation right
We
now?
have 3 barrels that will be 2 this month. So those are the 3 that we're kind of hovering on, but we have how many total?
About 60 barrels, which are scheduled to be coming mature every 3 months, is how we have it structured. for the early stages of our growth, and then as we grow, we'll lay down more barrels.
So you're nervous as hell. You're turning different colors right now. This is cool. And I like that because really a lot of folks that come on here and talk about their brand with us, it means the world. And they're talking to the folks right now in the business, restaurants, distilleries, liquor stores. What do you say to folks are you in distribution right now? Are you trying to get this on the market?
Yeah,
what do you say to that, Cindy?
We launched these three gins in February 1st. We were self-distributing for about 3 months. And just found that people were asking for us. It was too hard for our one brand ambassador to load up his car and peddle our gin every day. So we launched in June.
Well, where can I find you?
You can find us in about 150, 160 liquor stores.
Door. Are you kidding me?
In Colorado?
It's a gorgeous, Look at the bottle. This is gorgeous.
This is Instagram worthy.
I was going to say the block was on that with that, and I'm saying the block. They're going to make a run for your money right here.
We're in about 160 liquor stores, some bars and restaurants around town, in the mountains, down south, up north.
Whose job is that?
We're all over. To distribute, we partner with RNDC here in Colorado.
Oh, that's big.
We have our own brand ambassador, Cameron, and he's around town as well. So you'll see him doing tastings and hand sales around town. But
I love this.
Yeah.
I really do. What's the dream? What's the end goal?
The end goal is to make the best whiskey in Colorado, and that's
is it whiskey though, or you're doing why? Why mess with this?
You don't know what's coming. You're starting to judge before it shows up.
I just say you're doing something so good.
Well, we've already made the best gin in Colorado, so what's next? Right? We got to think bigger.
I like where you're going with that.
We got to think bigger.
Yeah. Felicia, there's a lot of times, and you've done such a great job of promoting folks that you do business with. Talk about these guys for a minute. What's going to stand out with these guys?
What I really appreciate, once again, I go back to the ingredient nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that each herb is done individually. They are distilled. Describe it a little bit better than I can, David. But you distill each herb to the temperature that it comes out and has the best flavor.
Wait, describe it. Why you shake that drink, please? Because can you don't be shy.
Yeah, describe and talk.
All right. So as Felicia said, we do distill every single botanical individually, which allows us to focus on that botanical and use the methods that best showcase the flavors of that botanical. So we may distill juniper at a different temperature or faster or slower than we would our rosemary or our sage component for the mountain herb gin. And we do that 20 times. There are 7 botanicals in the citrus rosé gin, 6 in the mountain herb, and 7 in the spice trade. So it's certainly a labor of love. But
David, who made gin cool again?
We did.
Deviation.
I was going to say, you walked into that.
Well, and you're using local products. That's the cool thing about it. Is these guys are hyper local.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
100% Colorado grain for the 3 gins and their sister spirits, the 3 whiskeys. In addition, the mountain herb gin is definitely an ode to Colorado. We get up with our dogs into the foothills and forage local juniper, local mountain sage, and a ton of local spruce tips for that gin.
So just imagine him with his 2-year-old on his back, right? And probably 18 months over the summer.
Yeah.
The kid's sitting there just like chilling out, hopefully napping, not bothering him, and he just picking away.
Hey, get that clip. That was good. That's going to be about a 10-second meme.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Imagine him, right, with this kid on his back.
Yeah, pulling up.
Right around the holidays.
Is that true? Is that what you're doing?
I probably have a photo of that, actually. Yeah, we could pass that along to your show.
That's homegrown, man.
That's totally
good
homegrown
stuff. I love that, and I love Felicia, when you come to the Modern Eater show and you're like, okay, take a look at this. A lot of times, it's I really feel bad for folks that are getting into this space. It's so tough.
Well,
the
if you're getting into
competitiveness.
Gen, watch out.
When I see Sean Smiley and Mike Myers and all these, they're all just going at it. And I see these new folks, I'm like, oh, man, do they have a chance? And then I taste their
You
spirit.
taste this, and you're going to be like, yep, they have a chance.
Well, have you tasted the cucumber? Because
So
that
this-
was just off the charts. What's this?
So cucumber basil is one of our best sellers in our cocktail lounge. Features mountain herb with Felicia. This one also features our mountain herb. It's a cranberry martini type drink. We have a fun name for it in our cocktail lounge. It's called the Twig and Berries because it has some rosemary in it. So we have a sense of humor too. We like to have fun with some of our cocktails.
Here's
so
the real stuff. Where can people find you? You have a tasting room.
we have a cocktail lounge and a tasting room. It's also a production facility. It's at First and Santa Fe in the Yard.
Right down the block. We're neighbors.
Right down the block. Yep. And various local liquor stores around Denver. You can always check out our website. It's updated where you can find us.
Can't wait to follow your progress.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm telling you, these guys have what it takes, and we're going to follow their progress, and we appreciate them to come on the show here
Thank you,
tonight.
thank you.
Thank you for having us.
See you guys.
Thank you
We
so
love
much.
As
you.
always.
You know that, of course. The Whiskey Sisters doing so much for Colorado communities and families.
Let's just say hello to Stephanie wherever she is.
Oh, she's in
Texas.
Dallas having cocktails, pong cocktails.
All right, let's wrap it up. Little Rich Snyder, you're the best spirit guy.
Little Rich.
At the least, Rebecca Berry, thank you for coming on. She's a new sponsor of the Modern Eater Show. All right, we'll continue. Thank you so much, everybody involved. We will continue next week, Brian. And guess who's here? Kevin Morse.
Nice.
Pinche Tacos. That'll be
Oh
next
my God,
week.
I might just have to come to that.
Terry Baird the week after that. Continue right here. The Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Hip Hop Billy.
Is there any way to get the end of that when she said "get in my belly"?
Was that on anything? It was good.